Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Maybe it'll just be us.
I'm trying to figure out how to switch this camera.
Right?
But you can see that you painted the wall.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Morning, AP.
Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm trying to become technically literate and turn my forward camera instead of my reverse camera on, and I don't have that ability.
Good morning.
Morning, Erica. Well, Ben, while you get that figured out, I'll just go ahead and get started. I've got to be somewhere at 9, so hopefully we can get through this update pretty quick for everybody. Give me 1 second while I bring up my notes from yesterday. So just a quick update on the progress that we've had out there over the last week. Obviously, if everybody's seen it, the paving on Salem, for the most part now, all the mainline paving has been done. Paving of the intersection of Salem and Howard has been completed. They have done the sidewalk on the north side of Salem there, so that was done last week. Cut and everything is back, and they did the kind of the fill areas between the curb and the sidewalk yesterday, so that should all be wrapped up today for that. They are working on the removal installation of the sidewalk on the south side this week there at Salem, so that would be the south side from the alley at mid-block there to the east all the way down to First, so essentially in front of Krause's. That sidewalk on that half block they're doing this week, and then the sidewalk on the next half block up to Howard will be done next week. So I know I saw them out there this morning. Looks like they're starting to form everything up on that. I don't know if they plan on pouring that today or tomorrow, but it should be done by this week, and we looking like we have really good weather this week, so weather's not going to be a hold up for anything. Last week the pavers on Salem were all installed, and all the trees in phase 1 were installed. There was one tree well that we weren't able to get treeing because the trees that were delivered, there was one issue with one of the trees, so we're waiting for a new planting to show up, and that last tree might just get done when the trees go in on Howard as far as this current phase. So again, this week they're pouring the sidewalk on the south side of Salem from First Street intersection to the alley. They're doing both basement and crawl space inspections on Ashland. I know for the businesses on Ashland last week, it sounds like Tanner and Spencer did go door to door just to kind of give everybody a heads up that they were going to be doing that this week. I don't see anybody on here from those areas, but we're starting to kind of work on that Ashland block and do some of the pre-construction survey on that. Roadway paving on Howard is being done right now. I did see them out there this morning, so if you're out there and seeing that, they are doing the main line paving on Howard today, and then hopefully we'll start the curb work later this week on that, assuming that concrete there does reach maturity and they can get a concrete truck on that. Usually they said that takes about 24 to 36 hours when we're dealing with good temperatures, so fingers crossed, by sometime Thursday, Friday, they should be able to start that curb work on there. Then looking ahead to next week, we noted that they're going to do the sidewalk on the south side there from the intersection up to Howard. And I believe everybody on that stretch has gotten notices about that. They're going to start some preparation for sidewalks on Howard as we start turning the corner on that. There also, I know last week we had talked about that block of Ashland being closed down from First to Howard. Starting next week, it looks like that isn't going to happen now, probably until the week of the 13th. And they'll do that and then get the intersection of Howard and Ashland done as well. So with that, I think that's kind of a good update on where we are at right now with the street project. So if there's any questions, be happy to answer them. And Brenda and AP, if I missed anything, please add to that.
Nope. That's what I had in my notes.
Hey, Charlie, two questions. Probably hard to tell, but like, when do those fences get pulled back? And did you say that it was going to tear out was going to begin on Monday for in front of me over there?
Yes, so tear out will be on Monday. Regarding the fences through there, what they'll probably do is they'll put the fences back up on Salem, down on the curb line, just so there's that barrier between the equipment they have out there and the sidewalks. So we did talk about that, and I think getting that block of Salem open back up, there's still some work that needs to be done there on the intersection before we can get that block open back up, as well as painting of pavement markings as well. But again, that block is moving along pretty well, so it sounds like we should be able to get that permanent fence down on Salem here probably, and fingers crossed, in the next couple weeks, completely on that one. And are you talking mainly about Salem, Erica?
Yeah, I was just totally being selfish as far as walking back and forth.
Back and forth,
Mr. Ridge
yeah.
reclaimed. I'm being honest about that.
Yeah, hopefully soon in the next couple of weeks here that'll be done. And I think we kind of talked a little bit yesterday about what it looks like to get some of that block open, and hopefully we're able, once we close down the other block of Ashland between First and Howard, we have to then deal with the bank exiting and trying to get out there. So we need to put that bank drive-through exit through Salem, since Ashland will be closed. So there'll be portions of the fence that'll have to come down at that point too. So again, hopefully in the next week to two, you should be able to get across the street a little bit easier.
Reminds me, the merchants group had a question as far as the temporary entrance at the bank there into that parking lot. And I'm sure this was in regards to Ridiculous Days and the closure of Salem. Will that remain open for a bit?
Yeah, that temporary closure or that temporary entrance in there, my guess is that'll probably be there for most of this year. Once we get the two blocks open back up, we'll push them into that area to close that back off, but that really is not a priority at this standpoint. It's just something that'll essentially be something they need to finish up before the project is considered complete on these phases.
I think it was just everybody making sure that there would at least be an access to the parking lot for that day if they couldn't use the other two. Perfect. Thank you.
We'll have access into those. Like I said, those access from the drive-through lanes. I would not expect that gets closed off before fall. But we'll always have access into those parking lots.
Charlie,
Yes.
so when the students start coming in at the end of August, is there going to be a map? This came up in conversation yesterday. Is there going to be a map that the city can produce that will show open parking lots and how to get around the downtown for those parents that stay the weekend and that type of thing. So
Yep.
we can distribute that.
Yep.
So they're
and-
not totally lost. If that could happen, that'd be great.
Yep, what we've done in the past, and if you've ever seen on the fence, we've got a map that kind of shows where the public parking lots are, where the closures are, kind of the walking paths around those. And so we've got kind of a PDF copy, I'm sure we can get
Okay.
you of those.
That would be perfect
Yep.
if you could do that. We're having SOAR next week. So we've got that's our first year orientation. So they come in all next week, spend the day, their parents are with. We have a very and growing large incoming class, larger than the last year's class that's coming. So could we have a current PDF that I can give the SOAR coordinator so that can go in the packet? There's quite a bit of time, a little bit of time where parents don't have anything to do, and we're going to try to get them to go downtown and either eat or, say it's only a block and a half. Here's how you need to get around downtown so they don't get frustrated with all the construction. If you could send that to me, that would be perfect.
Yep, let me check with Tanner at some point here today, and I will get a copy of the latest and greatest one that we have out there.
Thank you.
No, not a problem at all. Any other questions from anybody?
Don't think I see anything in chat. Let me look here. Nope, I do not.
Brenda, we've also got those maps that we
Yeah.
could give to her that's basically the entire downtown area. And we just reprinted those, I think, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we can send her the PDF, but it wouldn't have the closures that I think she was asking for. But we can definitely, I thought I would just send her the PDF to see if that would be helpful at all.
Well, if we can get the electronic, we do have some students who wanted electronic packets, and then we do have some hard copies going out. So that way Taylor can package it in with all that. But getting the updated one, Charlie or Brenda, when this, before the move-in weekend, maybe like a week before move-in weekend, and Brenda, I'll get you that date.
Yeah, that'd be great. It's sometime in August, right?
It's toward the end of August, but we have a little bit different move-in this year. We have some students coming in the middle of the week. And so we haven't really done that necessarily before. The football kids are going to be here 3 weeks before. And so it would be nice to that weekend, as their parents are moving them in, be able to provide that. So whatever kind of exists at the beginning of August, that would be great. And then as we get closer to when the bulk of the students come, we can shove that out to I think they have a parent email that goes out, and we can shove it into that email. So parents, we're trying to get them to stay in Indianola, eat in Indianola, shop in Indianola, and tell their kids that, yes, there is a downtown, right? It's a block and a half. It's not across the desert. It's a block and a half. Try to get them to come downtown. I mean, that's how kind of some of them look at it. It's like a desert between here and downtown, and we kind of shake our heads.
Yeah, no, and I'm kind of thinking as you were talking there too. So what I'll do for the ones who are coming next weekend, because the same closure we have out there right now should still be what we are dealing with. So I will get you the current map, and then the whole plan has been to kind of, as we start closing more blocks down and opening more up, to kind of update those maps. We actually talked about this last week, and just kind of the cost of printing some of those. And, we were going to kind of wait to update everything on the fences until we got into the Ashland phases. That's if we get into the Ashland phases this year. But I would think come August, we're going to be dealing with that 3-block closure, hopefully that 3-block closure of Ashland. So we'll have an updated map for you at that point, but I'll at least get what we have right now to you, hopefully in the next couple days here, Paula.
Yeah, SOAR, the first SOAR is on Monday,
Yep.
and then they come back again on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the following Monday again.
Yeah, the following Monday, there might be a little bit, that Ashland, that next block of Ashland might be closed down, so we wouldn't have that necessarily updated yet, but once we decide on that, I'll get that updated map to you as well. But I'll at least get you what we have right now for next week.
Thanks.
Yep, no problem. Anybody else?
Nothing in chat.
Well, if not, and as usual, every time we sign off, if there are any questions between now and next week, do not hesitate to contact me, Brenda, Tanner. Feel free to talk to anybody out there if you see them walking around. I know we've got right now, it seems like about 3 or 4 different crews down here doing different things just to try to keep the train moving along on this project. So any questions, just feel free to reach out. I know we're going to get into sidewalk closures here for everybody. That kind of starts being the more frustrating portion of the project. But any questions, concerns you have when we get to that, just again, reach out and we'll make sure we're working through all those issues with you. If not, hope everybody's enjoying this weather, and we'll see you all next week. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, Charlie. Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.